Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you. First, I'd like to commend Macquarie for their recent investments in renewables, which will hopefully ramp up with Gillian Broadbent on board, and Macquarie's new climate change approach, which commits to supporting the transition to a low-carbon economy.
I think we've had that standard for quite some time.
But Macquarie is serving as financial advisor to the massive proposed Rio Grande LNG export terminal and associated Rio Bravo pipeline in South Texas in the US. This project, as a top US energy official said in April, this project would liquefy mostly fracked gas and would drive the expansion of fracking in the huge global carbon bomb that is the Permian Basin. And as the head of corporate social responsibility for BNP Paribas said last year, the carbon footprint of unconventional shale gas produced in the US and exported to Asia is worse than that of a coal-fired power station. Climate is not the only serious impact of this project. It would also threaten the endangered ocelot and would damage the local economy, which depends on ecotourism, shrimping and fishing. But climate impact is the major one. How do you square Macquarie's explicit commitment to support the fight against climate change with support for the Rio Grande LNG project?
Thank you for your question. That particular project that you mentioned is a project we have a minor advisory role on. It's been there for a number of years. We are not an investor in that project, and it is purely in the project of pipeline and the LNG liquefaction plant. So just to square exactly where that is. You have raised the issue of the US gas market, though. As we did say in our various presentations, both Shamara and I, that on any of the analysis of the transition from current fossil fuel usage to any of the targets under the Paris Accord, as we move to decarbonise the economy, that natural gas, is going to be an important part of that transition process. Now, we are very big supporters of the transition process. You will see the amount that we've got invested and continue to invest in renewables. But in the short term, in the short and medium term, natural gas is still going to play a very important part of that transition process. In the US, as you've mentioned, the non-conventional gas production is a large part of the US gas industry. We are an active participant in the gas supply and delivery market in the US, as we've shown in our presentations. I think more than 50% of the natural gas production in the US comes from non-conventional gas wells. So if you're using gas in the US, every likelihood that a significant portion of that gas will be coming from unconventional sources. If you're in the industry or a gas user, that's unavoidable in the US. So that's the position we have. I just underline what we're saying is that we are full supporters of a transition to a carbon-free or a low-carbon, low fossil fuel future. But in the short term, it is going to involve natural gas as part of that transition process.
So just following up then from your response, Next Decade names Macquarie as project equity advisor. Macquarie is one of only 2 financial institutions that Next Decade names as advising on raising capital for the project. Unless Macquarie is going on record as saying that it is playing an insignificant role in facilitating capital for the project, then Macquarie is playing a significant role in facilitating capital and is contributing to the impacts of the project.
Well, as I said, we are a junior advisor in that, if that's the same project.
Yes.
That's the role we have. It's an advisor, and the rest of my comments stand.
Yeah, okay, so you're going on record to say you're
well,
an insignificant...
I said we continue. We're currently an advisor. That project hasn't commenced as far as I know. We'll see how that plays out. But today, as we are today, we are an advisor to that project.
Okay,
yes.
thank you.